We're at the start of the Thames Challenge Cup now, and well, we've had an international flurry of entries, a record year here at Henley Royal Regatta, over 200 international competitors, and here in the Thames Challenge Cup, Shanghai New Rowing on the Berkshire station on the left-hand side of your picture, going up against Hamburger und Germania, Germany, on the right-hand side on the Buckinghamshire station.
And I love the difference in nations and crews of what people do off the start. That Shanghai boat club, huge amount of noise. Love to see that stamping their mark here at Henley.
Yeah, 2 of 27 nations being represented here, China and Germany. And it's the Germans on this occasion that are the ones to go first. They're almost 3/4 of a length up and stretching out the end of the island ahead of Shanghai.
Doing a really nice job, I think, of managing this headwind in that German crew. It's quite tempting in a headwind to think long and plod and get things sagging down, but it looks as though they're keeping things really lively off the start, so enjoyed to see that.
Well, we've jumped to the live pictures. That was a bit of a recap of the start of this Thames Challenge Cup heat, but you can see they've taken that rating down somewhat now, Cam, and still into the headwind. You know, conserving all that energy you can. It's not only hard that you've got to race every day, mostly here at the regatta, but the conditions can also add to that level of exhaustion.
100%, and the headwind is always quite tricky to manage at Henley. Obviously, the stream goes from the finish line towards the start, so you've got water moving against you, and then with the headwind, it just makes that race time that bit longer. So a bit more energy has been sucked out of these athletes for those longer headwind races. But it's a difficult wind to manage, particularly if it's moving around, which we know it can do. And you can just see those flags in the background. There's a little bit of crosshead to it. So the conditions here at the regatta are really important to manage, and it tends to be that the crews with the red boxes at the end of the week are the ones that can row in all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Shanghai crew here we've got on screen, they are a rowing company, in fact the largest in China. They started rowing in 2017 as a unit, this Shanghai New Rowing Club, and or New Rowing Company, as I must say. Their coach Chi Wang is in the 3 seat of this crew, so on board and able to give feedback to what the rest of his crew are doing, Cam.
Yeah, and it's no discredit to the Chinese crew, but this picture's a really nice glimpse as to just the polarity in techniques, where on the left of your screen with the German crew, it just looks a bit tidier, they're direct and in the water, those oars go straight in, whereas in the Chinese crew on the right-hand side of your picture, it just takes a little bit longer to put the oars in, it's a little bit scrappy coming out, and that's reflected in boat speed.
And they're just actually being veering into the middle of the water. You can see the angles, not only of the bows, but of the blades as well. They're pointing in almost 2 completely different directions, Hamburg and Shanghai.
Yeah, and that speaks to the same point, which is if you're a coxswain, so if you're, you know, Hans Espig coxing in that German boat, things are pretty simple. You've got bow side and stroke side going in at the same time. That boat tends to run pretty straight for you. Whereas if you're Zhi Jiangzhu on the setting the rhythm and Lily Hu steering, it's really quite tricky if the boat is moving around where you've got 8 oars going in at slightly different times. So there will be a bit of steering in that Chinese boat, but that's the beauty of rowing. There are always things to improve. We're always searching for that perfect stroke, that perfect race. And so long may it continue that they've got their quest to improve their journeys in their rowing careers.
Yeah, and Hamburger and Germania will be looking to continue on in their rowing careers as well. The average age of this crew, mid-20s. The oldest person in the crew, 29-year-old Gregory Schultegger in the 2 seat, who was the North German 2K champion on the erg for lightweight men. So a strong lineup there. We'll see again from Hamburg and Germania. It will be Shanghai New Rowing that we will have to say goodbye to. My favourite fact that I have to say about these guys before they go home, they train on the canal around Shanghai Disneyland. So they'll return back to Disneyland to put in some more training, and I hope we see them again another year here at Henley Royal Regatta. But Shanghai, they've travelled some way to compete in this Thames Challenge Cup, but ousted by stronger international opposition by the Germans, Hamburger and Germania.